Today we have a special guest. We're going to be seeing how Jamie Oliver makes his carbonara with Vincenzo.
Hey guys, how you going? Hi James, Jamie Oliver, carbonara. Together, ooh.
Before we get going, be sure to check out Vincenzo's channel after seeing this video and see our review or my review on his channel. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and say hi to Vincenzo. Now, let's get started.
Pasta, cream, bacon. Cream?
No cream.
Hi guys, we're gonna make spaghetti carbonara, a classic Italian dish. Pasta, cheese, bacon. What's not to love, right? But it's really controversial. I wanna give you what I think is the most authentic recipe.
Right off the bat, Jamie is saying cream, bacon.
Look, he knows better than that. Come on, he can't be serious, you know? He did make a joke about the cream, the bacon. I don't believe he's using bacon because, you know, I lived in England and you can find anything in England.
So first up, guys, you only need 5 ingredients. Guanciale. This is the cured cheek of pork. And as you can see, it's all about the fat. It's salted, it's got pepper, it's dried, and it's aged. Of course, it's similar to smoked bacon, and you can get some pretty good results, actually. But you can see this is quite lean. So try and get them to not cut off the fat, because you need it. Or there's pancetta.
Did you say similar to smoked bacon?
The problem is that in the US, it's smoked. In England, you can get bacon, like breakfast bacon. You can get bacon that's not smoked, which is great.
Because also pancetta and bacon is the belly, you know? But look how thin the pancetta and the bacon is. They go in a sandwich. They're too thin.
Guys, what you can do is that if you can find in your grocery store like a thick cut bacon, use that, or use a thick cut pancetta and cut it yourself.
Then most people use Parmesan, but actually the more classic is Pecorino Romano. Sheep's cheese, it's crumbly, it's salty, free-range organic egg.
You know one thing, lots of people say, I want to use mix of Parmigiano and Pecorino, because sometimes the Pecorino can be very salty. You got Pecorino from Sardinia, you got Pecorino from Abruzzo, Pecorino from the south, different Pecorino from Tuscany, and they're saltier than the Pecorino Romano from Rome, okay? They're also aged longer. So try to use a young Pecorino Romano, which is normally the most common in the supermarkets.
For the life of you, when you're in Italy, guys, remember not to say pecorina.
Do you want to tell everyone what it means, pecorina?
Pecorino is the cheese.
Don't say it.
Pecorina, there's nothing wrong with pecorina. It means a kind of woof woof style. You need to be careful because
What
if you
you
go in
order?
Italy and you ask for pecorina, you're gonna get it. So stick with the pecorino.
Pasta, black pepper, and then optional garlic.
The garlic is useless, sorry, but the garlic doesn't give any flavors. You got the beautiful flavors from the guanciale, the pecorino, the egg. What is the garlic gonna do? What is it gonna do?
He's using 1 clove of garlic as well. The garlic will add a little bit of flavor. I understand that it's not something that you want to use, but a lot of people do add it.
At home, you can do whatever you want, but if you're a famous chef showing the recipe, you don't say that, okay? You wanna use cream at home, use it. We're not coming to tell you not to use it, but if you're on national TV, you don't use cream or garlic.
First up, guys, grab the pasta by 2 hands, twist it into the water. By twisting it, it won't stick together. Put a tiny amount of salt in this water because the cheese and the guanciale is salty. This beautiful pasta takes 8 minutes to cook.
Where Jamie's saying that the pasta takes 8 minutes to cook is variable. You can read the packet, but you need to check it. Also, about the salt, even though there is a lot of salt in the guanciale, it will be salty. You may want to season the pasta a little more because the pasta contains no salt whatsoever. When they make dried pasta, they do not add salt to it.
You make a good point. Look, I like cheese, James. I normally put more cheese than less.
Me too.
I do put less salt in the water because I'm gonna abuse the cheese.
If you want the saltiness and you don't want to spend as much money on the cheese because it's expensive, it really is, especially in the US for like Parmigiano or Pecorino, it's very expensive. Add salt. It will save you money with the cheese. And that way it'll last a lot longer in the fridge.
So I've got my guanciale. I'm gonna remove the skin and I'm gonna take a nice centimetre slice of the guanciale, roughly chop this to about 1/2 centimetre chunks.
Depending on what type of guanciale you get, sometimes, like they make guanciale here in Spain, and the one that I buy, they don't add the skin to it. So when they add like the pepper to the top of the guanciale, it's directly on the fat.
The pepper on the fat adds flavors, it's flavors, okay? Some people like to remove that peppery part because it's too much pepper, okay? I don't personally like to remove it, I like it. Depends how much there is on top. But now he's gonna cook the guanciale on a medium-high heat. That's too much. We're not cooking a steak, okay? Guanciale needs to be cooked slowly, it needs to sweat. It's a process that takes between 5 to 7 minutes on a medium-low heat, okay? Don't cook the pasta yet. Focus on the guanciale first.
Now, this I agree with you, Vincenzo. If you don't want to rush while cooking, pre-cook the guanciale first as the first step, because the guanciale, once you cook it to where it's still a little soft in the center, you don't need to cook it anymore. You can leave that off to the side and then cook the pasta after you make the sauce and have that ready. So it's right there, and then you can add everything together at the end. And for the life of you, don't break the pasta. It will actually sink into the pot. Yeah, it will get soft. You don't need to break the bloody pasta.
The thing is, if you need to break the pasta, just use a short pasta. It's already broken for you. Don't use spaghetti. Use something else.
Now, the pan, it's cold. Turn it on to a medium-high heat. The reason I want it cold is because I want to render the fat out. The guanciale goes in to the pan.
Very small
and this pan is getting hot.
It's not a mistake what he's doing, that's personal, but to me he cut the guanciale too small. And then look, you have pieces of just fat. There are two ways of cutting guanciale in Rome. One is the chunk one, chunky, more like a cube, but not small, chunky. That when you eat it, you feel like you're eating a steak. Or strips.
The best ways to cut it are either one, you cut them into like little 1 centimeter size cubes, or a little smaller than 1 centimeter. And then you can also cut them into little lardons.
Give the garlic a crack and then put it in the pan. As this starts to sizzle, the fat will just pull out some of that perfume from the garlic. Then there's the black pepper. Get your peppercorns in a pestle and mortar, crack it. Get a little sieve.
Nice
this is one of the most important little bits. And no one really does it, okay? Honestly. This is the outer skin. This is much milder. What we have here is the inside part, the peppercorn, which is hotter, perfect for a good hot carbonara. The guanciale is getting golden.
That's a lot of pepper to put in with the guanciale. Just before we talk about this, what Jamie just showed by actually sieving the black pepper, I said this before, it's a very good tip. This is what we normally do.
I really love what he did with the black pepper. It's beautiful, okay? It's a detail that maybe I don't pay too much attention to because I like to crack it right at the end or in the egg, but it's a nice touch what he did. The biggest mistake here is that you don't put the pepper to the guanciale. It's a big mistake. The pepper goes with the eggs. The guanciale already has the pepper, already has the flavors.
Well, what Jamie did, remember Vincenzo, he cut off the top layer. So maybe he's trying to compensate by adding a little more back in.
And why did you remove it then? I don't understand.
He
you
didn't
remove
want the skin. The skin.
The skin has to come off. Well, but the skin comes off because the skin doesn't burn. The skin doesn't cook. So did you remove the top part as well? Maybe I missed that part.
I think he did.
So you got the skin, which is the skin of the pork. And then there is the other part where you got pepper. If you remove that, then don't remove it.
When you're adding a lot of finely coursed black pepper to the pan, a hot pan, you want to be careful not to burn it. Before doing it like this, you could toast the peppercorn separately in a dry pan. Toast them. And then crack them. And that will add more flavor. And like Vincenzo said, you can add that to the eggs separately. And then you don't need to toast the black pepper with the guanciale.
Now let's get onto the eggs. Eggs are really, really delicate. And if you don't treat these right, you end up with stir-fried noodles. And we don't want that. I'm gonna take a bowl and I'm gonna crack the egg straight into there. And I'm just gonna add a little pecorino to that. So like 20 grams.
One egg, sorry, so one egg is not really enough. 20 grams of pecorino, come on, you got money, use more. But one egg, no. Normally you need to use 1 egg per person. Now, to make the secret to make the carbonara creamy, it is to use the egg yolk.
Eggs are super expensive right now. You may only can use one. But if you use like organic eggs, where the chickens have been eating a very rich diet, the egg yolks will be super, super orange. Like not even yellow, orange. and they will taste better. And if you can't get chicken eggs, use a duck egg. They're bigger.
There is a restaurant in Rome which, in my opinion, makes the best carbonara in Rome. It's called Maritozzo Rosso. It's open for lunch, and the carbonara they serve is $16 for a plate. 16, right? But they use fresh pasta. The reason why is because it's quick for them to cook. In 2 minutes it's ready. And they use eggs from a city in Tuscany, Livorno, where there is a farm that feeds chickens carrots.
Everybody, be sure to be taking some notes so you remember where to go when you visit Italy, yeah?
Time sensitive, so we're going to have a little whisk up. We've got dark guanciale. We've got the fat that's come out of it. And that's what you want. You want attitude and colour. Now, I'm going to remove that garlic. Turn the heat off.
He's using a non-stick pan, and he's using his little tongs on the non-stick to mix everything together. This is a big no-no. These are not hex-clad pans.
Well, Jamie doesn't pay for those pans because they are his pans. Tefal, he did a collaboration with Tefal. The thing is, he's under pressure, he's cooking.
He started the cooking process the other way around. Now the pasta is already done, and he's having to rush. So, and he has cameras. He doesn't have to worry about the cameras and everything, not like us where we have to adjust all the bloody cameras. Take your time and do it the other way. Cook the guanciale first and then cook the pasta and then play on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Woo! Yeah! And you're going to drag the pasta and the water into the pan. Use the water to stop the frying. Bit of water. That water and the fat, that is what's going to emulsify to become a creamy sauce.
Well, you make it fun, Jamie, so I want to do it too now,
No frying at all. Only then can we think about adding our egg.
Jamie's a character, and this is why we love him. He's very theatrical, but for the life of you, if you don't want to clean up the kitchen, you don't need to be using the tongs to flick the water into the saute pan. Well, a lot of people ask, why has Jamie Oliver been so successful? Because Jamie has a good character. He's very good on camera. Okay, some of the recipes, especially some of them, they're not the best.
Salt, pepper, and 2 tablespoons of mango chutney. Sweet, spicy, and very, very delicious.
Mango chutney. But he makes up for it with the character, and he can sell anything.
As we toss, we add some more liquid. Ha ha! That's the cream. You get the cream through the emulsification of the cooking water and the fat, and technique, and timing. So as simple as this is, it's technical. Get your friends, your family, get them around the table, glass of wine. Look at that, guys, look at that.
If you look closely, I think that Jamie scrambled the eggs.
He did put lots of water. It looks creamy, but also might be a little bit watery, but that's okay, because what happens is when you mix the water, the eggs, the pecorino, by the time you serve it, it thickens up. It didn't do a bad job, okay? It could have been done better. In my opinion, I would use more eggs and definitely more cheese. There is one safe method to use. It requires you to use a bowl, like a stainless steel bowl.
So basically what you're saying is to use a bain-marie.
That's right. Yes, but don't boil the water. The water should be off because the steam is enough. Yeah, a bain-marie technique. That's right.
Well, Vincenzo, you need to check out my carbonara video one day because I think you'll like it.
Okay. Well, that's maybe. What about we review it together and we'll do it live? You can't say anything.
It's a little strange recording yourself and then, reviewing yourself. It's a little different.
Carbonara! And you finish with more pepper. Wow! I'm so excited. Spaghetti, carbonara, with a beautiful little finishing of pecorino. That is as classic as I can give you guys. From chefs, from nonnas. It's about quality ingredients, the guanciale, the pecorino romana, quality eggs, the pepper, the technique of the pepper, good pasta.
I think he did an okay job for Hans. I mean, Jamie cannot make this type of mistakes, but for someone who makes it at home, it's a nice experience. But don't mention nonnas, because there's nothing nonnas in this dish. I don't know why people mention nonnas. You always want some extra guanciale, crispy guanciale on the side to top up, to put on top of your dish. Overall, I think it's okay. I believe you will be happy to eat this, James.
I actually remade Jamie's carbonara about 2 years ago, I think now, and it wasn't bad. The only real critique besides chopping up the guanciale and everything that I had was that he added too much black pepper to it. If you like a lot of black pepper, that's fine, but if I had to sell this and I had to serve this to somebody at a restaurant, they would complain.
I think you need balance. That's why it's important to learn how to balance. I think the secret in life, whatever you do, it's about balance.
What my dad used to do when he was making pasta at home at night is he would put in whole peppercorns into the pasta. So that way, when I was little, I was like 6 or 7, I'd be putting whole peppercorns in my mouth and it'd just pop.
Wow.
And I hated it. He used to do this just to get, you know, for fun. And it's like, trust me, peppercorns are spicy.
Yeah.
And if you want to see your little kid squirm, add some whole peppercorns in the pasta.
Come on. There's a little platter for 2 people. And of course, the most important thing when you eat pasta is don't watch it, eat it. That, my friends, is a thing of joy.
It is. What a beautiful dish.
We didn't talk about this during the video, but what are the other types of pasta that you would recommend?
I know it's not easy to find in the supermarkets, but thick spaghetti called spaghettone quadrato is the best one to use. Rigatoni, in a way, you need more eggs and more cheese because the rigatoni absorb more, plus the sauce has to go inside.
I also heard a recommendation of using, was it bucatini?
Bucatini is also, like, old school people use it, like even the nonni, they do it.
Guys, bucatini is a type of spaghetti that has a little hole through it. It's like a straw, basically.
So I actually made ravioli carbonara too. Crazy, I think it's the most beautiful thing, food-related thing I've ever created.
Overall, Vincenzo, what would you rate this carbonara on a 1 to 10?
Look, we have to be nice to Jamie. He did a much better job than other chefs. Maybe a 6.5, a 7, just be kind. What do you think? 6.5?
No, I think 6.5 is pretty good. I mean, if he added, I'm surprised he didn't add any mango chutney to this because he's capable of adding it. Yeah? He added mango chutney to mac and cheese.
Did he?
Mac and cheese, yes.
I mean, he put chili jam in the fried rice, so after that, anything is possible.
No, he likes the flavors. Yeah, he said that a friend told him once to use mango chutney in the mac and cheese.
Must have been drunk.
Probably talking to himself in the mirror.
It's interesting because years ago I didn't see so many bad things, but today, after rewatching it, I realized that he made some mistakes that can be easily fixed. But you know what? Simplicity is what makes you happier in life. So keep it simple, don't overcomplicate. Keep it simple, you never go wrong.
This is very true, and it's true with a lot of things. Thank you, Vincenzo, for being with us today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Go see Vincenzo after this channel and say hi. And until next time, take care. Bye, Vincenzo.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.